This is going to be our introduction to fractions, but hopefully nothing I say is new to you. It should all be a review of things you learned in 3rd grade. As you listen, try and remember learning those and think about what you know about them, about the fractions, about the words, about how we read them. And then if you have questions, make sure you're asking afterwards. Also, if you watch this video and it seems absolutely foreign, that means you've never learned it before, it's not review, then I want you to make sure that you get through the first couple of lessons on Zearn, because that will give you a very good practice with just some basic things with fractions. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about are the words for fractions. So look at this fraction right here. Okay, this is what a fraction looks like. Don't worry about my other drawings there. Okay, we have a number on the top over a number on the bottom. And we're going to start with the number on the bottom. See if you can say that word before I say it. What's the number on the bottom half of the fraction called? Denominator. Think of D as in down, denominator. That means how many total do you have? So look around at your table. How many tables are there? How many desks are there? I believe everyone has 4. It doesn't mean everybody's there, but it means that's how many you could have. There's a total of 4 desks. Now, how many people are sitting there? That number goes on the top. Do you know what that one's called? See if you can say it before I do. Numerator. So the top is the numerator, the bottom is the denominator. Okay, so if you have all 4 people there, then you would write your fraction like this. 4 over 4. We can say that's 4 out of 4 or 4/4. Whenever the numerator and the denominator are the same number, that means it equals 1. All right? So I'm going to tell you one thing. We'll keep talking about this throughout our fractions unit, but this is something maybe you didn't know. Another way to read this is as a division symbol. 4 divided by 4. And we'll look at that really in our next units as we get into decimals and things like that. But if you don't understand, how does that equal 1? Well, think 4 divided by 4. Anything divided by the same number is 1. Okay? So you have, if you have everybody at your table, you have 4 desks. That's how many possibly could sit there. That's the denominator. You have 4 people. That's the numerator. So you have 1 full table. Now look around. If nobody is missing when you watch this video, and then have one person from the desk just step away. Now, how many desks are there? Still 4. That's our denominator. Okay? How many people stepped away? Just 1. 1 out of 4 of the people stepped away. How many people are left at the desks? 3. That's our numerator again. 3 out of 4 people are sitting at the desks. Uh-oh. I don't know why it gets blurry like that. Oh, hopefully it gets better. There we go. All right. 3 out of 4 people are left at the desk. So we can read this 3 out of 4, or we can read it 3/4. This is 1 out of 4 or 1/4. Okay? All right. Next thing I want us to look at is part that gets me a little bit confused sometimes. Sometimes this has taken me a while to get it in my head. In a fraction, the smaller the number in the denominator, the larger the piece. So I want you to think about it. This is my pie right here. All right? Looks like a snowy pie, I guess. It's just white. If I said we can split this pie up, I want you to think, if we split it between just you and me, how many people would that be? 2. If I split it in 2 groups, look how large our piece is. Well, now, so you get 1 of those. So you get 1 out of 2. Look how large that piece is. Now we have to split it with everybody at the table because that's how nice we are. So now there have to be 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I have 1 out of 4 I only get. Look how much smaller my piece is. Well, what if I have to split it with another table? So everybody gets one piece, but now we're splitting it 8 ways. Look how small my piece is. I used to have a piece that was this big. And now that we're dividing it by 8, my denominator got bigger, my piece got smaller. Okay, so just want you to keep that in your head. We'll keep talking about it through the unit, but remember that the larger the denominator, I said it backwards. The smaller the denominator, the larger the piece. Okay, the larger the denominator, the smaller the piece. All right, and then let's look at shading. Okay, so right here we had this fraction, we had 1/4. So that means I have something and it's divided into 4. So it could look like this. It could look like a circle. It could look like your table with the desks. It could look like this. This is like a tape diagram. All right. So if I said, well, there's 1/4. You have 1/4 of whatever this is. It does not matter what I called it. If I have 1/4, I just shade in 1 out of 4 of the boxes. There's 4 boxes total, 1, 2, 3, 4. I shade in 1. How many are unshaded? There's 3 unshaded. So there are 3 out of 4 unshaded, or 3/4 that are unshaded. Okay, I'm going to shade in 3/4. Okay, just like this. And then what I want to show you is saying, like if I labeled this, if I said how many are shaded, you would say 3 out of 4 or 3/4. That equals, I can decompose it. That means take it apart, each part separately. 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. And that equals what? 3/4. Good. And if I had shaded in that last piece, then I'd have to add this other one on. And I'd have 4 1/4. 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. And that would equal no longer 3/4. That'd be 4/4 equals 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. And we know that that equals what? If I have 1, 2, 3, 4 fourths, what did that equal up here? It equals 1 whole. If I have all the parts that I can possibly have, I have 1 whole. So think of it like your class. Each of our classes has about 23 or 24. I'm going to use the number 25 with your teacher. There are 25 possible people that can be in the room. If everybody is in the room, that means we have 25 out of 25. How many classes do we have? 1 class. That's 1 whole. All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to get started on Zearn. For sure, try and get through the first lesson, but you're working all the way trying to get through 1, 2, and 3. Because what we're going to be doing is combining some of the lessons, and we'll go through the modules or the different lessons. It's the whole mission, but they break them up into different topics. They just don't show you that. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go through each topic. The first topic might have like 6 lessons, but we're going to do it in about 3. So you'll either have to double up trying to get through the lessons faster, or if you can show us that you know what to do, then I'll move you up a few lessons to the next topic. Okay, either way, it doesn't matter. If you know it, we'll push you up. If you don't know it, then you just need some more practice, and we'll keep practicing on those certain lessons. All right, so get started and do your very best.